Our top story this Monday as a Montana Highway Patrol trooper and two other victims fight for their lives following a shooting and manhunt in Missoula. The patrol says there's also rumors and misinformation being spread. On Trooper Wade Palmer's condition, the Montana Highway Patrol says his family wishes to keep his medical updates private at this time. They're asking the public to respect that by not sharing any information or updates via social media that have not come directly from the Highway Patrol. Another piece of inaccurate information that surfaced is a bank account that's being set up for the family. This has not been confirmed by the family. However, a GoFundMe account shared by the Highway Patrol on social media is legitimate. The Montana Highway Patrol is asking anyone who comes across misinformation to contact them in a private message so it can be addressed. The suspect in the shootings, 29-year-old Jonathan Birch, is scheduled to make his initial appearance in court today. He faces one count of deliberate homicide for the death of Shelley Hayes. Birch is also charged with 3 counts of attempted deliberate homicide for shooting and injuring Trooper Palmer, Julie Blanchard, and Casey Blanchard, who are also recovering from their injuries. Birch led law enforcement on a 7-hour manhunt after shooting the first 3 victims Thursday night in Missoula. It was after a second shooting early Friday that officers took Birch into custody without incident. Now we go to New Zealand, where as the investigation into the massacre at 2 mosques continues, families await the return of their loved ones for burial. While the nation tries to heal, the Prime Minister vows to strengthen gun restrictions. CBS's Laura Podesta has the latest.
As a nation unites in grief, New Zealanders gathered for comfort and song. They're mourning the 50 worshippers killed in the massacre at 2 mosques in Christchurch Friday. The country of more than 4 million is still searching for answers, while a debate over gun control is taking shape.
And I think what the public rightly are asking right now is why is it and how is it that you should and are currently able to buy military-style semi-automatic weapons in New Zealand.
The Prime Minister said on Sunday new gun reform laws will be announced within days. Out of respect for the victims of the attack, the organizers of New Zealand's largest gun show canceled the event. They also cited security risks. Over the weekend, the suspect appeared in court with his face blurred in accordance with law. Police say he acted alone, but they haven't completely ruled out that he had support. His family in Australia spoke for the first time.
It's just so much for everything to take in that somebody in our family would do anything like this.
Counter-terrorism police in the suspect's state of New South Wales raided 2 homes south of where he grew up. In Christchurch, workers at the local cemetery have been using heavy machinery to dig graves for the victims. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
New Zealand's Prime Minister says families of the victims are eligible for $10,000 each to help cover funeral expenses, regardless of whether the loved one killed was in the country legally or not. Also making headlines, data from the flight recorders on the Ethiopian Airlines jet that crashed just over a week ago has been downloaded. Ethiopian Airlines said a very preliminary examination of the black boxes show similarities with the Lion Air crash last October. U.S. officials say more analysis is needed. Back here in the States, heavy rain and melting snow are creating havoc in Iowa and Nebraska. 2 people died in Nebraska, where the governor declared a state of emergency, calling it the worst flooding in half a century. From the courthouse, a popular Billings radio host is behind bars this morning after he was charged with partner family member assault. Jason Harris, better known as Big J, was booked into the Yellowstone County Jail on Saturday night. No details surrounding the misdemeanor charge have been released. Harris is a morning radio host on Hot 101.9. The program's Facebook page issued a statement saying they do not have any details on what happened and there will be no further comments at this time. Another roof down in Bozeman. This time it was the ice rink at Bogart Park. The Bozeman Fire Department responded to the scene Sunday evening just after 8 o'clock. No injuries were reported, but the Bozeman Fire Department said the structure will likely collapse some more. This marks the 4th roof collapse in Bozeman in recent weeks after the roofs of 2 gyms collapsed on the MSU campus and the roof of a horse arena at a nonprofit caved in. No injuries were reported in any of those incidents. In case you missed it over the weekend, Senator Steve Daines made a trip to the Glacier Jet Center to welcome back a group of Kalispell soldiers. These were all familiar faces to Daines. He spent time with the 495th CSSB in Afghanistan this past December. The 80 men and women returned home around 11 o'clock Saturday night after 9 months overseas serving our nation. Along with Daines, family and friends eagerly awaited their arrival. Before we take a break, a band based in Helena has been invited to travel to Italy later this year for an important World War II anniversary. MTM's Jonathan Ambarian has more on the band and their connection to the 1st Special Service Force.
On St. Patrick's Day weekend, the pipes and drums of the Black Devils performed about a dozen times around the Helena area, including at Friday's celebration of Irish heritage at the Montana State Capitol. Beth Foster founded the band in 1998.
It's just a lot more fun to play with people and play with others and have a band, and so I started looking for pipers and drummers.
Over the years, the band made connections with veterans groups by performing at memorial services and other events.
It's very moving and humbling to see the response that you get from those that know what your mission is, why you're there.
Today, the group's biggest role is as the official pipe band of the 1st Special Service Force, an elite World War II unit of American and Canadian soldiers who trained at Helena's Fort Harrison, then won a series of important victories in Italy and France.
Personally, for me, I don't know that there would be a bigger honor.
Because of their connection with the unit, the band was invited to travel to Italy this spring to take part in celebrations of the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Rome. Soldiers with the 1st Special Service Force were among the first Allied troops to enter the city.
So we're going to be there to represent them.
Foster says they hope to be able to bring a 1st Special Service Force veteran along on their trip to Italy. She says they're honored to continue to bring attention to what these soldiers accomplished.
What do we do with this? How can we continue to educate and represent the 1st Special Service Force? Because at some point, the veterans will be gone.
In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
And the group is seeking donations to help pay for the cost of their trip to Italy. You can visit blackdevilspipeband.com for more information.